So hello guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, your girl Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. Call me Amina today. For today, my name is Aisha. If you want to see my red eyes, just call me Chineze or call me Neze. For the few minutes that this video will last, I am officially a Hausa lady. You guys know that I am a proud Igbo lady, but sadly, we Igbo women are trending for the wrongest reasons. We can say that evil is not exclusive or peculiar to any particular tribe or region, but it is now becoming an embarrassing coincidence that whenever news of the worst maltreatment of underage helps make it out there, it seems like the perpetrators are coming from a particular place. And so I'm asking, what's going on? So let us talk about this horrendous story that is trending right now. Adachukwu Cukelu Okafor is a barrister and a businesswoman. She buys and sells wigs and weaves. She is also a wife and a mother of 4. Her social media profile describes her as a lover of God, and she resides in Akbaka, Onitsha, southeastern region of Nigeria. Ada just had a baby and was in need of some assistance around the house. So she contacted her parents to help her source for somebody that would assist her with house chores. Ada's parents reached out to one Mrs. Ijoma Mogalu, who is a guardian to this 10-year-old girl called Happiness. They reside on the same street with Ada. After discussions and an agreement was reached, Ijoma granted Ada permission, so Ada left with Happiness to live with her and act as a domestic help around the house. This happened in January, just this January last month of 2024. According to the reports of a man called Calvin, who resides on the same street with Ada, Ada had told Happiness to bathe her 8-year-old son. And according to Ada, this help began fondling and stroking her son's private area. Now, it is not clear whether this 10-year-old Happiness did more than that, but that is what is in the media for now. And when Ada found out, when she discovered what had happened, she released the rage and fury of hell on Happiness. First, she heated an iron. This iron used in straightening ruffled clothes. She heated it to the hottest volume and then began pressing it all over Happiness's body, burning her buttocks. Then she beat her silly, blue, black and purple, beat her to a pulp, took her to a room, chained her, starved her of water and food. But she didn't stop there. She got a hot knife, a sharp knife, then placed it on the fire until it got to 100 degrees. And when the knife was well heated up, Barrister Ada took it and inserted it deep down into the private area of Happiness. Oh my god, so gory. Due to YouTube community guidelines, I will not be able to post the video here. But are you following me on Twitter? I'm going to put up those videos on Twitter. So if you're yet to follow me on Twitter, you can go there to watch it. That is if you have the balls for it. Because it was so gory. You would lose sleep, you would lose your appetite if you see that video. This 10-year-old Happiness was in the streets, stark naked, people videoing her, and you had to see the extent of damage in her private area, burnt beyond recognition. And that's why I encourage us to follow me on other social media platforms. Every social media platform have their own policies on these kinds of things. So follow me on Instagram and Facebook, same handle at Nezeville. Just in case there are some things that I cannot share here, you can always access them on these other platforms. So when Mrs. Ada was sure that Happiness had been dealt with extensively, she called Mrs. Ijoma, who brought the girl, to come and get her out of her house. And according to Calvin, the man who narrated this story, he said that Ada threatened them that if they dared do any nonsense, she was going to deal with them through her connections as a barrister. But seeing the degree of harm and injury meted out on Happiness, Mrs. Ijoma could not keep quiet. She had to take Happiness to a hospital for treatment and then reported the matter to the police. When Ada discovered that the police is now aware of the incident and is on her trail, she changed her contacts and disappeared, went into hiding, and was never seen or heard from again. Well, the federal government, through its Ministry of Women's Affairs, declared her wanted. The Honorable Minister of that ministry had this to say: I decided to keep quiet on the issue of Mrs. Adachukwu Cukelu Okafor, who burnt the private parts and body of her 10-year-old house help with hot knife and hot iron in Anambra State. I kept quiet because I thought it would have been solved by now, but since it hasn't, I have decided to wade into the issue. Some people wonder why the Women's Affairs Ministry always wades into issues, but it is within my purview to get involved in anything that concerns women and children across the nation. So I will not listen anymore, but would wade into any issue that concerns women and children across the country. So I am declaring Adachukwu Cukelu Okafor wanted. Please, Nigerians, go out there, search for this woman, bring her out and hand her over to any police station. The Women's Affairs Ministry is offering 2 million naira to anyone who finds her, hands her over to the police, helps the police in her capture, or provides the information to the Women's Affairs Ministry. And a few days after she was declared wanted, Barrister Ada turned herself in at the police station. She will now be arraigned before the Children, Sexual and Gender-Based Violence Courts in Awka next week. And even the governor of the state is 100% invested in this issue. He had this to say: Mrs. Adachukwu Cukelu Okafor, who visibly violated the young girl left in her custody, is one out of many who do not deserve a place amongst decent humanity. We have commenced actions to ensure that she is brought to justice. This should serve as a firm warning to all abusers of any kind that Anambra State is not a place where their excesses will be condoned. The Child Rights Act of 2003 and the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act of 2017 have long been domesticated in Anambra State, together with other laws, and my administration is big on entrenching law and order as a foundation for building the livable and prosperous homeland that we all seek. It is the highest sign of weakness to abuse or violate the vulnerable. This and others like it cannot be tolerated in the Anambra State that we are building. And it was signed by Charles Chukwuma Soludo. And this is just one out of many countless cases like this. And so I ask, Ndine Mama, what is going on? Some people have argued that they do not blame Mrs. Ada, that Happiness was a spoiled child who tried introducing her son to premature sexual relationships, and that any parents can lose their cool and act crazy when somebody is trying to damage their child sexually or try to steal the innocence of their child. So they advocate that justice should be tampered on Ada with mercy because she was only trying to protect her child and punish the person who was, harassing her child in that manner. But for some other people, they believe that this is no admonition. This is grave witchcraft in broad daylight. Taking a hot knife and inserting into a lady, that is intolerable and unforgivable. They queried, why should a 10-year-old girl be a house help at all? And not only did Ada take a 10-year-old as a house help, she still went ahead to delegate a 10-year-old girl to beat her 8-year-old son. That is inappropriate. So they apportioned all the blames to Mrs. Ada and insisted that she should face the full wrath of the law. So what do you think about this? Do you make any sense of this first set of people advocating that justice be tampered with mercy because Mrs. Ada acted how any other parent trying to protect her child would act? Or do you believe that Mrs. Ada went overboard? That she acted inordinately and she should be made to face the full wrath of the law? What do you think about these two arguments making the rounds? So now I believe is a good time for us to address this wickedness, this recurrent wickedness by women against their house helps in general. First, I think it's pretty bold for you to exhibit that level and manner of callousness to someone that you leave your children in their care. Someone who has access to your food, your water, your house, the keys to your home. I believe that you must have some nerves to show wickedness to this kind of people. Yes, I agree. It's possible for you to be kind and show pleasantness to some of these people and they still take you for granted and still hurt you. It is very possible. But going out to show meanness to someone in this kind of position in your life and your children's life, it shows some balls. Even if you do not love that help, don't you love yourself? Don't you love your security? Don't you love your children? Secondly, I think that we should normalize asking helps in general that do not meet up to our standard or our expectations to live. I've addressed this topic once or twice on my other channel, Nezeville. I don't know if you guys are following me there. Beautiful, amazing channel. You would love it. Where I discuss my marriage, parenting, and other personal stuff that is not of public knowledge like this channel covers. And I have explained that you do not expect your help's level of understanding, level of IQ, level of reasoning to be at the same level with yours. If you have such high expectations of them, you would constantly be disappointed, you would constantly be aggrieved because they cannot meet up to your level. Many of us hold our helps to the same standard as our reasoning, but it cannot happen. And then you find yourself constantly angered and frustrated and releasing this tension on the helps. The sooner we know that these people, due to the kind of background, the exposure, the education they have, cannot be like you, act like you, reason like you, the sooner you understand that, the more patient, the more understanding you would be with them, and the more you'll be able to manage them. But anyone that is not manageable, why don't we normalize asking them to go back to their parents instead of keeping them and constantly assaulting them? Because some of these women, when they are caught, they start coming up with different reasons. Oh, this child, I've been warning this child, I've been telling this child, I've been correcting this child. So why did you still house the child? You would end up hurting somebody's child and putting yourself in trouble. So any help that you cannot cope with, any help that you have been trying to correct or change and they are not taking corrections, please normalize packaging that child and sending the child or the person, let me use the word person because I'm talking generally here, please package the person back to where you got them from. Secondly, it's very important for us to be our brother's keepers. If you see something, say something, do something. You cannot be privy to the knowledge or you cannot experience where a child is being brutalized and you turn the other way and walk away because it is not your child. But tomorrow, you would expect the whole world to rally around your child when they need help. But you see the child of another person in danger, in turmoil, in torture, and you drive off or you walk away. It doesn't concern you. Nothing concerns us until it knocks at our door. We need to change that mentality. I personally cannot see a child in danger, a child getting maltreated, and walk away. No, I must intervene. And when I say intervene, I don't mean putting yourself in harm's way or putting yourself in danger. There are different modes and methods, different techniques of intervention. It doesn't have to be via threats or violence or police or arrests. It can be via advice and counseling and subtle threats. I remember back then in Nigeria, there was this lady that was always beating her child. You know, there's some mothers, some women, it's not just other people's children that they treat like that. Some mothers, if you see the way they beat their children, you think that you are in the middle of the war front of Russia and Ukraine, beating them like animals. So I parked my car, I came down, I went to meet the woman with a smile, but you know this smile that has a threatening undertone, a sarcastic smile. And I told her, this pikin, why you they beat him like this? Now what's happen? And he said, you know, they hear what? And I told her, say, madam, you know, see me, I be lawyer. We they work for this organization where they come pack women where they behave like this. The other day, my mama was asked we pack, she dey prison now. No allow this pikin put you for trouble. No be everything where the pikin do where you go beat him. Take him easy. This beat, I no one see him again. Oh. Make one of my colleagues where both of us they work, no they drive past, can't see you. They go arrest you. This thing don't do him again, please. Why you gonna beat this pikin like this anyhow? I even showed her the picture of one woman on handcuff that was caught. I think that woman was caught selling children or so. But I showed her that, see the latest woman that was arrested for maltreating a child. And she was just looking at me like this with fear. So that was how I subtly discouraged her from that maltreatment. And you and I owe it to the society. And that is the mentality and mindset that we should have. We cannot keep complaining of ills in the society and wickedness within the society, but we are making no single effort to change things. We sit in our comfort zone and we are complaining of all the bad things happening, but you never ask yourself, what have I done differently to change it? Even if it's through words, intervention, what are we doing? And that brings me to my next point: enlightenment. Sensitization. You do not need to be a public speaker or a well-known orator to be able to effect sensitization. In whatever capacity and position you occupy, you can make a change. You can make a difference. You can counsel even if it's just one woman. You can stop even if it's just one child from being maltreated. Whether at your place of work, whether you are in the place of authority in church, whether in the marketplace. With the use of these techniques that are employed, counseling mixed with all these subtle threats, you can save a child. You see, I say it all the time, Nigeria is such a religious country. When you walk down the street, you see 10 churches filled to the brim. Women are praying and speaking in tongues. So who are these people perpetrating this wickedness to these children? Due to poverty, hardship, and illiteracy, we have changed the core of the message of Christianity to prosperity, breaking of yoke, financial gains, and breakthrough, money, while neglecting the fundamentals, which are love, kindness, forgiveness. So tell yourself that you can make a change. You can stop an abuse. Whenever you see something that is not right, speak up, voice out. And the next point is for my daddies. I'm sorry to bring you in, daddies, but this concerns you too. Sometimes when you see these helps badly beaten, badly treated, malhandled, you wonder, is it that there's no man in this house? Where are the husbands of these women meting out these maltreatments to these children? Are they not seeing it? Don't they hear the cries of these children? Don't they see these children looking unkempt? Even if they go to work and they don't witness it, nobody has come to tell them what happens in their house, or they don't see the injuries and the scars on the help's body. Why is daddy quiet? I know a lot of men have told themselves that when it comes to house help, that is not my jurisdiction. That is not my area of specialization. Now my wife, they handle that one. Some men do not even want to get involved at all before their wives will start saying, oh, so you are choosing the house help before me. You prefer the house help above me. And start accusing them of chasing the girl or sleeping with the girl. So many men do not just want that drama and that insult. They just keep far away from their wives and house help issue. That can work, but not where abuse is introduced. Because if that child dies in your house, then you will know that it is your business. There is something in law called an accomplice to a crime and an accessory after a fact. And you can be both if you choose to keep quiet and condone your wife maltreating and injuring a child under your roof. So speak to your wives and stop them and mandate them that if they do not treat the help better, you are going to send the help away and they will be the one to do the whole work. You cannot afford to turn a blind eye when someone is dying under your house, under your roof. This case is going to court. Sure thing. This woman has messed up herself. Because this case will go to court, and I can assure you there is no judge or court that would see the extent of these injuries inflicted on that girl that will not jail Ada. So it is almost certain that Ada will see the four walls of a prison cell. So who would suffer? Your children, and maybe you yourself. So the ripple effect of these things would always come back to bite you in the behind. You will be affected eventually. So why not try to avert it? Please, daddies, when it has come to abuse or maltreatment of a help or anybody in your home, it is your business, it is your right to intercede. And lastly, if you cannot be nice or tolerant to these helps, to this domestic stuff, please stay on your own and do the work with your children. You must not have them. I know so many people that are living alone without helps. If you cannot tolerate them and manage them and correct them with love, just as you correct your own children and treat them like human beings, then it's not compulsory for you to have them. Who says you must have them? There's some people I know that will tell you, anything house help issue I do not want. I avoid them like a plague. I and my husband with my children, we manage each ourselves. We manage our home. We do not have any house helps. If you know that you find them intolerable, then don't have them, because you end up hurting somebody's child and ruining your own life. Let us all be careful and let us be warned, because the prevalence of this issue, just within the last 1 or 2 weeks, I know how many cases that I have come across involving the same thing. Madam meting out grievous bodily harm on their helps. Let us be careful. Let us remind ourselves to do unto others what we want others to do to us. Do let me get your thoughts, your feelings, your feedback, how you feel about this whole story. Do you believe that justice should be tampered on Ada with mercy, considering her allegations of what the girl did, or do you think that she should go in fully for it? The full wrath and weight of the law should be hammered on her. What do you think about this whole situation? Do you share your experience, your thoughts, and everything down in the comment section? So guys, yes, we have come to the end of today's video. If you're new here, you're seeing me for the first time, or if you've been watching without subscribing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, drop all your comments down in the comment section, and turn on your bell notifications because we have so much more coming your way. Don't also forget the company I introduced to us a few videos back, our Shaw Plug. They are a digital marketing agency who can help you with affordable web designing, social media projection and optimization, helping you manage your social media accounts. If you have a business, maybe you offer services or you sell products, helping you with visibility and management. They do all of these and a lot more. So I'm going to leave their contacts right on the screen and down in the description box. So reach out to them, do your due diligence, and kick it off. Thank you again for watching, guys. It's me, your girl Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye.